Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Gina again, and I'm doing Icad 2022, and today is number 11. I'm starting off with a 4x6 index card. It has already been pre-gessoed. I just spritzed it with water because my intention was to apply acrylic paint on it, but then I saw my stamp here and I decided to do that instead. So it came out a bit more watery than I planned, but I actually really like how it looked. That stamp is some puzzle pieces that I stuck to cardboard, and I just love it. I will link the video below to how I made those. I made some others as well, how I made it. And I dried the first layer, and then I went back in with a drier layer, stamping the same color. And now I'm adding blue. I didn't clean the stamp, so there's still some green on it. It's still a bit damp. So now I'm applying blue to the stamp, and I'm going to stamp it on a page with writing, which I'm going to cut out, and I want to use as my focal point. That's the intention. So now I'm going to cut these out and see how they look on my card. After I cut it out, I found it was too flimsy, so I decided to back it against this other index card. But while I was cutting, I decided to leave a little border around it instead of just using it as backing. So let's see how that turns out. And I really like how it stamps. I like that it's not a solid stamp. I like that you could see through it with all the layers of stamping that was done. So that was pretty cool. See, you could see the words, you could see some white poking through. And here I was having trouble with the really small one. So I decided to try using the hole punch, the single hole punch, to do in the middle there. And it worked pretty cool. It was so small it actually made me laugh. Because it was kind of like a cute little hole in the middle of the puzzle piece, you know. So I'm just going to try and cut that out. It's sticking to the scissors because the scissors got glue on it from when I stuck the paper to the puzzle piece to the card. They cut out now. Yeah. It got glue on it, so everything's sticking to the scissors now. This second piece I really don't like at all. I wanted to actually do it over, but then I spent so much time cutting that I thought, nah, I'll just try and figure out a way to fit it on somehow. See right there? I almost cut it up. But I didn't. I just decided I'll use it on the end instead. And I'm just trying to figure out where to put my pieces and trying for them not to be in the same direction as the original stamping. And also not cover up the original stamping too much. Then I saw this green piece lying in the background. And I thought how cool it would be if I put a strip in the back. And I could put my word. And while I was thinking of all of this, I was thinking the only word that came to mind was puzzled. But it didn't feel right. So I kept thinking puzzle, puzzle, puzzled. And it still didn't feel right. So I'm working on my card, thinking about my word. I'm sticking my pieces down because I decided this is where I want them. And I know I'm going to put my strip. But my strip was actually supposed to go underneath the puzzle pieces. And it's only after I stuck them down that I realized that I was supposed to put it under. And that's when I realized that I was supposed to put it under. So thankfully it didn't stick yet. And I was able to lift them up and get them stuck down. It's a good thing I realized sooner rather than later. So at this point, the word that I'm thinking of, instead of puzzled, is fit. I thought that was a much better fit. Haha, pun intended. I chose fit because it made me think about people trying to fit in, how we try to fit in life in different areas of our lives, how we try to get situations to fit together, whether it's at work or at home or wherever it is. And it really felt like the word fit. And it ties in with the piece because we try to get our puzzle pieces to fit in together to make a whole. So, and sometimes we really try to force pieces in that don't belong until eventually we realize, what, this really doesn't belong. Sometimes we force it and we leave it. We move on to another part, and then we realize, I actually think this was actually supposed to go over here. And I believe that's what happens in our lives too, where we try to force situations, we force feelings, we force things, and it really doesn't belong. It doesn't fit. It's not the right time. It's not the right person. It's not the right choice, especially at this time or ever. And yeah, I just really like this card and I like this word. It wasn't intentional. And all I could say is thank you, Lord, because these cards, they're never planned. They just happen and they're always a perfect fit. Pun intended. Okay. So now I am trying to organize my words. I brought up my stamps because I didn't want to see my handwriting. I like how my stamps look. I even thought about going to the computer, but I was like, Gina, you're going to the computer to type a 3-letter word and print out a 3-letter word? Nah. So I organized my stamps and I'm organizing my frame around it. I'm coming in with a permanent marker. I used a single hole punch to get that hole there, trying to still mimic the whole puzzle theme. That's the only thing I could think of to do. And I like how that looks actually. I really do. I'm trying to really keep it simple. I felt the words weren't showing up too much, so I brought in my pen and I'm just going over those words to darken them up. And now I'm gonna put it down. I actually wanted to do a line of stitching, but I didn't want to get up and go where the sewing machine is to do it. So I just decided to do those lines. I don't know if it adds anything, but that green was it needed a break. So I broke it by putting those lines, and this is it for my card today. I hope you all enjoyed it. I actually really enjoyed doing this card. I like it very much. And thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to your comments on this one, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!